Hello again. Despite the lip service which many of us feel obliged to pay to the idea of diversity and the contribution made to the world by other cultures, the brutal fact remains that almost everything we see around us is the product of just one culture, not many. This culture may be very broadly described as Western civilization, and every time we open a newspaper, use a mobile telephone, turn on a laptop, switch on an electric light, or drive a car, we are relying upon inventions which have their origin in the ingenuity and intellectual brilliance of the European mind. About this, there can be no doubt at all. However much we might pretend that this is not so, it is. This is awkward for those who wish to promote the idea that all ethnicities and cultures are equally endowed with the ability to make discoveries in science and to expand the boundaries of human thought. For this reason, it has become popular in recent years to pretend that important inventions such as aeroplanes or printing were actually the work of native Australians or ancient Chinese people. There is not a word of truth in it, of course, but since these falsehoods fit in with the prevailing ideology, they are assiduously circulated. The Australian boomerang, with its curved aerodynamic surface, is claimed to be the earliest use of the Venturi effect to provide lift, the vital aspect of powered flight. An even more absurd instance is the popular myth that printing was invented in China centuries before it appeared in Europe. This particular piece of nonsense has even found its way into many history books. The truth is, of course, that the use of movable type for printing existed in Europe around 2,500 years before it was seen in China. In the early 20th century, a clay disc was unearthed in Crete. It was impressed with signs making up a previously unknown alphabet. This disc may be seen in the thumbnail to this video. The interesting point was that these signs had not been individually cut into the soft clay, but that they had been stamped in by standardized blocks of type. In other words, this was a document which had been produced by means of movable type. It dates from the Bronze Age, probably around 1500 BC. The earliest example of printing in China dates from at least 2000 years later than this, proving beyond all doubt that printing by means of movable type was invented in Europe long before it ever occurred to the Chinese to do such a thing. However, the idea that some of our important inventions were devised by ethnicities other than European, that the fairy tale of the Chinese invention of printing has been carefully nurtured and preserved, despite everybody knowing that it is completely false. It fits in too perfectly, you see, with our modern doctrine of equality between the races, and is always cited whenever people wish to denigrate European thought and achievement. In the description to this video, I give a link to the Wikipedia article on this artifact based off this. But you can, if you Google it, you'll soon find ample evidence of what I've just been saying.